So Clifford, tell me your name.
Clifford Jones.
All right, and you are you're someone that you're okay with this being recorded, and you're going to allow me to present it to the public, correct?
Yes.
Okay, great. So Clifford, you and I met about 4.5 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And
2016.
yep. And so you remember that I noticed you were different than everybody else. You remember?
Yeah.
What I remembered the most? You remembered every single detail. And when I told you about the device I invented and how it was used on horses, your first response, you were always so quick, was that, of course, a horse can't tell you where it hurts.
Yeah.
And that's why so to me, is like, I was always impressed by your intelligence. And I was like, why is this guy in this situation? So, and starting in the beginning, this is like an example of, the power of one, they call it one mistake, how it can change somebody's entire life. And it's not a mistake really on your part. It was a situation. So it was what year was it? When the
1975.
And you were in the military. What were you doing? You were in the military?
Yeah, I was in the Marines.
Okay. And then you were on leave in Seattle, right?
Right.
And what happened was you just happened to get drunk and get out and go, I'm really tired. And a door was open in a car or whatever, and you went and slept in it, right?
Yes, it was station wagon.
Station wagon. And by chance, of all the station wagons you could have chosen, the one you chose by mistake was a police lieutenant or something, right?
Yeah, he was a lieutenant in the Seattle Police Department.
Right.
It was his personal car.
Yeah. So, and he was not upset. And people have to go back to that time period and realize that the Seattle police and the things were very good old boy. Like if they wanted the judge to do something, they usually went along with it. And you had a public defender, right?
Right. Correct.
But what you did was sleeping in a car. You didn't steal a car.
No.
And their claims, the funny part is their claims that they tried to claim the ignition was tampered with or whatever. But back then you could have hotwired the car in 5 seconds if you wanted to. You clearly didn't steal that car. You just slept in it.
Yeah. And the other thing was when he was asked to produce the bill to fix the ignition, he said, I just did it myself,
Right.
So there was no damage.
Right. You didn't do anything. You just slept in a car. Now, how many years right now, if that happened, what would someone probably, you've been in and out of the system. How much time would someone spend for sleeping in a car here in Seattle right now?
Right now, maybe 3 days in jail.
Maybe.
Yeah,
probably
maybe
not.
Yeah.
Probably nothing. What were you sentenced to for that?
10 years.
So so it's really important to understand that, 10 years for sleeping in a car only because it was a cop's car. So really unfortunate, but what that led you down a road, right?
It's been a landslide. It's been like a massive landslide. Just everything just went down, man. And it went quick.
Yeah. And so you basically got into the jail system. And then when you get out, what do you know? You know all about crime at that point, right?
That's really all. That's all I know, and that's really the only opportunity you get, really, when you come out.
Right.
I mean, they don't have programs or assistance. They claim it, but it's claiming and getting is two different things.
Right. Now, what you told me, so we made a deal. So I met, I thought you were different, and I tried many times. You had a warrant for I knew this, I don't know if you're aware, but I knew it when I first met you. I looked you up and I found there was a felony warrant in Hampton, Virginia. And I didn't care, but I tried to get you to turn yourself in, right?
Right.
And to just go and we eventually, we cut a deal with, you don't know about the details because you didn't realize that I had already cut a deal for you for them to transport you based on your signing and you didn't know this when you did it. So you actually trusted me, but you signed the people. Okay. So if someone's arrested in Seattle, if you have a warrant in another state, they let you go right away. Right.
No, you have to, you can fight the extradition and make bond. My bond was $500,000.
Right. But the average cop, you and I have seen this a million times. They literally don't serve warrants on out-of-state criminals. They let you go.
Yeah,
They don't,
usually, yeah.
they check your ID. They don't even check for ID. I mean, I've seen them stop you
Yeah.
guys. They never
Yeah.
ask for ID ever.
Nope.
And we both know that plenty of people that have been stopped, that have even gone to jail, they never ran their prints. You actually were one of these. Your prints were run. It was a different location, but they ran your prints and they let you go before they found out that yours a warrant for your arrest, and you were already gone.
Yeah. Yeah. Twice.
So twice. So the system is so messed up that you could have been back there serving your time. But the truth is, we got to know each other. And I told you, remember when you were in, this is crazy. When we were in the county jail, the Seattle police were going to, you don't know this, but the Hampton detectives called me and said, go down to the jail, convince the sheriffs to hold him because they will. The Seattle police are going to release you. Do you remember there was that detective that was going to release you?
Yeah.
And so, but you did sign the waiver of extradition, and by doing that, you really changed your entire life. So you made the intelligent decision, and you trusted me, and so you said, okay. You didn't realize that I already cut a deal for you, and you went back, and your sentence was 33 years, and I did hire the best lawyer, and
Yep.
and they cut it to 2 years, 10 months, right? Something like that.
Yep.
And so you did your time. Now I bought you a book, you remember? And it was Tony Robbins, Awaken the Giant Within. And that was something, even when I got a call from the prisoners there that said, you had changed so dramatically, you came in angry and you left logical and rational. How did that affect you? Like the time in jail, we spoke a lot. How did that affect you?
It helped me a lot because when you have somebody that's going to help you, you got a support system. That's a major thing when you're coming out, because look at me, even with my support system, it's not going easy.
Yeah.
So if I at least had the luxury of knowing that, hey, I have people out there who care. I have people out there who will help. All I got to do is get myself in the position to be ready to take advantage of those when it's offered.
Right.
That's what I had to do. That's why the book.
Yeah.
You also have to rearrange the way you think and the way you handle things in the past.
One of the other things that, a lot of these guys, of these 40 something people we both know that are on the streets, all of them, I checked them all out. All of them have warrants in other states. Mm-hmm. They're not in Seattle. They're all in other states. And they say they're staying there because they know that Seattle police won't arrest them. For the detectives, they wanted to know how you committed a bunch of these things in Hampton, and you had told me, so I was able to explain to them. They couldn't figure out. They didn't realize that you used a van to drive into a window, and I thought it was really kind of funny because they didn't know how you did that. They tried everything. There's no cameras. So, anyways, there's a funny part to it. And they actually really liked you. Like they had this thing where they wanted you so badly, and they were like, they really had this, thought you were this different person. And then when you flew back with them, we got a picture of it. And you sent me this picture. I'll put it up. I'll throw this. You said, so you told the detective, send it to Marcarian, because you want me to show you this picture to remind you what not to be when you get out.
That's right. Yeah. Things will come.
Yep.
You just got to be patient. It will come. You just got to see it through. Got to get through the storm to get to the sunshine.
That's right. And you did that when you got out. And even at the end, instead of getting angry when they said you're not going to be getting out of jail, you went outside. They told me, the guys that were there called me and they said you went outside, you walked around, and you calmly dealt logically with the situation, and you ended up out of jail on Christmas Eve. One of the things that'd be really cool, if each one of these kids that we all know that's got felony warrants had someone to do what I did with you, wouldn't it be great? Because they would be able to go, wow, I can actually rely on great legal support, and it would cost the city less money in dealing with constant break-ins. All this incredible nonsense that's going on could be wiped out. Instead of losing, hundreds of thousands of dollars in police, presence and requirements and responses, and which is, that's another problem. If we had a system where these people all were like, okay, you can safely go back and pay your dues with a really good lawyer, that would probably cut the cost to the city down by at least 10 times what it is now. What is it? What's the number one takeaway for you? What's your short version of your advice to all those guys out there that have these warrants? What would you tell them?
That from a guy that knows, like I told you, I had 34 years in prison, people. So listen, I don't care where you're at in your life. I don't care what your situation is. You are going to, when you think about it, all you're going to imagine is the worst. And it's never that. You are living the worst. When you're sleeping in doorways, you ain't got nowhere to use a restroom, take a shower, clean your clothes, clean yourself, and everybody's chasing you off because they don't want you loitering. How the hell can you be worse off in prison? At least that has an ending. If you don't take care of this, it don't have an ending.
That's right.
But prison does. You can get it taken care of, come out, and there's the end. Now it's your beginning.
Right.
But as long as you're doing what you're doing right now, take it from an old man, 65, who got a lot of years in. You're just going to keep living the nightmare until you take care of it.
Yeah. And you're really free without a warrant for the first time in your life, basically, right?
Yeah. I mean, like I was telling you earlier, I got stopped by the Everett police because I didn't have bus fare and I got a ticket. But it was nice handing him my ID, knowing he's going to hand it back to me and I was going to walk away.
Yeah.
Not worry about getting cuffed up again.
Right. And if you didn't have that ID, you would have been cuffed up.
And, another thing these guys need to understand, even though you're the one that made the mistake, whatever it was, and whatever reason you're on the run, got these warrants, you're the one that made that mistake. So you're going to have to correct it. But if you truly, truly are doing your best, people will work with you. And just because you messed up don't mean you have to put up with just any old thing either. Now, you have the right to stand up and say, and I have with my parole officer, I've told her, hey, this ain't working for me.
Right.
Just as long as you're always honest and everybody knows where they stand with each other, they will work with you. They might not agree, but they will work with you. There's the difference.
And that's the key. And that's how you got out Christmas Eve. They didn't agree, and but you presented a logical and for the first time since I've known you, you didn't get emotional. That was the key. You actually presented a logical argument, which and you kept your cool, and they saw you as like, wow, he's not crazy. He's not gonna go nuts, and he's an adult, mature individual. We should treat him as such. And you were out Christmas Eve. So the results of this change in your behavior that happened that's the other thing. If they do serve their warrant, just like you, it was life-changing for you to go back and actually complete this, get it over with, you know? Yeah. And it was hard in some ways, but it was it went by pretty fast, right?
Well, I mean, it didn't. It was kind of hard for me the last year because of the COVID-19. We weren't allowed to leave nothing. We just stayed in our rooms, cells. But I mean, it went fast enough. It'll never come fast enough for you because you're steadily waiting on that calendar. But it went back fast. Believe me, I have no regrets right now. Absolutely zero regrets on that decision. Yeah. If people think about it, it costs you $33,000 to $38,000 a year to lock an inmate up. What would it cost you to put someone in a housing, assisting in getting a job, assisting in getting whatever transportation to that job? And he told him, man, you wouldn't even hit $33,000 in that year. No. If you'd rather pay the $33,000 or $38,000 than help somebody the first year out, get established. After that, that's on them. I don't know if you're looking on my screen, looking at me, right when you look at the video here, but look at me. You can tell I'm an old convict, and I'm not going to tell none of you nothing wrong. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to tell you straight up. If you're truly tired of what you're living, dude, all you got to do is just get that slate cleaned. By the time you get it cleaned and come back out, you got all these programs to be opening up. You got all this help to be opening up. Take advantage of it, but you get none of it while you have a fugitive warrant. I
Yep.
promise you, I got the letter. I can prove it to you. My best bet for you guys is the only way you can have a clear conscience is to keep one. Clear your conscience, get whatever it is you got to do, man. Be a man about it, you know, face up to it, walk the walk. If you do that, you'll come out way more ahead than if they got to chase you down and take you back. Believe that.
Yeah.
So you might as well have the advantage there too.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, thanks a lot, Clifford. And again, I really appreciate your friendship. It's like I've learned a lot, and I think we both have. This has been, you know, and I feel like it's so great to see that, you know, there's been a lot of people I've met that I thought, oh, maybe they're going to follow through, but you actually did. And it wasn't easy. It took a while.
Yeah. And it ain't easy now, but, you know, they got an old saying, you know, I guess it says, the things that are worth having are those that are worth waiting for. So if that's what you really want, you just got to see it through. You'll get it.
Yep. That's the best thing. That's it. We'll leave it on that. That's great. All right. Thank Clifford. Thank you very much, Clifford. All right.